25 years after one of Australia's most successful singing groups ever was born, they are back. The Seekers are back, while at least 3 of the original 4 are back, with a new lead singer, Julie Anthony. They released their new album this week, getting a lot of television exposure. But one question, what happened to the original Seeker, the original lead singer, Judith Durham? Jane Hanson tracked her down to a hideaway home on Queensland's Sunshine Coast.
In 1967, the Seekers made Australian musical history. They were the first Aussie band to make it to the top on the international charts. It took just 4 years for the Seekers to make their way from the Melbourne jazz scene to the dizzy heights of international stardom. There is a season turn, turn, turn. By 1968, they were a household name, and Bruce Woodley, Keith Potger, Athol Guy and Judith Durham became Australians of the Year. But 1968 was also the year the fresh-faced girl with the dimples decided to call it quits, to go her own way. For the carnival is over.
It was really just that I felt it was time to move on. I'd given it my all for 4 years, and musically speaking, you know, the Seekers was one element of the music that I loved. There were many other styles of music that I wanted to experience the fun of singing and the challenge of singing.
Since then, Judith Durham has become something of a recluse. She lives somewhere here in the hinterland of Queensland's Sunshine Coast. Exactly where, she won't tell. And she won't even answer the phone. You have to leave a message on the answering machine and she'll get back to you.
And I don't know, I just think that maybe when you get too exposed to the public, perhaps other elements come in, and I think really the thing that you want to share with the public is your music. And also, it leaves something in the world that's just special for Ron and I too.
I'll tell you why. We've built a world of our own that no one else can share.
All our sorrows will leave far behind us. Judith and her husband Ron Edgeworth would only agree to meet us at a hotel on the Sunshine Coast for fear of revealing their hideaway.
Best voice in the world. Judith Durham.
That's it, nice and all like this. Right. Hey there, Georgie girl, swinging down the street so fancy-free.
The couple now make their living by performing the club scene. The voice that made its way into lounge rooms all over the world can now be heard in RSL clubs. Even without the backup of the band, the studio and the microphones, the voice of Judith Durham is as good as ever. So good, in fact, she's had a multitude of offers to rejoin the Seekers. But she says no amount of money will bring her back.
I really think that we're best crystallised as people remember us, and that's really what I'd like to remember it myself as, rather than try and recreate something, and it just might seem a bit sad.
Despite what Judith thinks, popular demand has brought the old team back together with Julie Anthony out front. But those wanting to relive memories with Judith can catch up with her on her concert circuit. And as Judith has found, she still sets the hearts of her male fans fluttering.
A lot of guys come up to me and they say, oh, I've been in love with you for 20 years. And I'm just absolutely freaked out by that. I think to myself, why didn't you tell me 20 years ago?
And for those eternal fans wondering if she will record again, you won't have to wait long.
I haven't put an album out for 10 years, and that's really shameful. So it should be within 6 months, I hope. The blues get everyone.
Quarter of a century since the Seekers started. That's live.